All right, quick disclaimer. I believe tracking your macros and calories is the best and most reliable way to get in the best shape possible. But I also know a lot of people don't like to count calories and track it, or won't count every single bite. So I'm going to break down another way you can get into decent shape without tracking your macros or calories. For the most part, this is what I kind of follow now. Let's get into it. First thing first, you need to do the hard work first. So you do need to spend a little bit of time. You do need to calculate your macros, and then you need to build a meal plan or meal plans that you can follow. First things first, you need to do the hard work first. Calculate your macros and calories, then create some meal plans based around those macros and calories, and then learn portion rules. These are going to be the rules that help you run your diet. And then once your progress stalls, you can just adapt it. So it's not a thing where you have to track it every single day. You just have to weigh your food and then monitor your weight at the end of every week. And if you get to a point where you've plateaued, that's where you can start making adjustments, and you have to do a little bit of work once you hit that stagnation point. And that's going to make it a lot easier and less tedious with you tracking your macros every single day. This is why I like it. So I've got a few meal plans. I stick to one meal plan. When I get bored of it, I change to the next one. It's imperative that you don't skip the macros and calculate your macros homework, because all you need to do is work it out and set your macros and calorie targets just once. This gives you the direction. And once you've got the numbers, all you need to do is translate that into a meal plan or meal plans. That way you can weigh your food and not have to track it or put it into a food log. And then it'll probably get to the point where you can even almost eyeball it. I wouldn't recommend it. I always try to be as precise as you can, but you may get to the point where you kind of know how much 100 grams of, let's say, rice is. Treat this part like you're setting your sat nav, and then the rest of it is just like you navigating to your destination. Rule 1, protein is a non-negotiable. High protein preserves your muscle when you cut, and it keeps your hunger at bay. Aim for the higher end if you're training hard. Roughly 1.6 to 2.4 grams per kg of body weight. This is going to be a safety net when you're cutting. The next thing, I don't use it so much because I like to use a weighing scale, but I have used it with clients in the past, and that's using the hand portions. Use your own hand as your measuring tool. So for example, your palm might be your protein sources. You might have a fist of veg. You might have a cupped hand of carbs, and then you got thumb size of fats. This way of tracking is faster and it's personalized to you. So for example, you could have a meal where you have 2 palm sizes of protein and 3 cupped hands of carbs. And you know, if you start putting on or you stagnate, you just have to remove maybe 1 cupped hand, and that's going to bring your calories down. Obviously, this is going to be rough estimates. Be careful with this because it is not as accurate as weighing, but it is a lot less mentally draining and it is a lot faster. So proceed with caution when using this method. So next, fill up your plate with leafy greens, salads, stuff that's low calories and high volume, even like high fiber carbs. Then you're going to swap sugary drinks for low calorie drinks, sugar-free drinks, and black coffee or low fat milk within your coffee or tea. These simple swaps cut out calories without you thinking like you're actually on a diet. That's why it's a quick one, because I always say it, make sure you're training hard, lifting heavy, and pushing yourself towards failure. This is going to help preserve your muscle. Next is moving more outside of the gym. Non-exercise activity can be a game changer. So that's stuff like walking, you standing, even you doing things like fidgeting. So stuff outside of you doing physical activity. Small increases in these daily movements are low effort and low stress, but they can add and contribute to your fat loss overall. Next, you need to do a little bit of tracking. If you follow the steps, you don't need to be logging your food every single week, but you do need to be tracking your outcomes. So make sure you're weighing yourself at least once a week, taking progress pictures and measuring your waist and monitoring your key lifts. These are going to be imperative to make sure your fat loss journey is a success. But if you hit a plateau, make sure you check your sleep, your stress levels, and how your training is going. If that's all good, then tweak your diet. This is where you may need to recalculate your macros and calories, and then make adjustments by removing a portion from your diet. To wrap things up, tracking your macros and calories, in my opinion, is going to be the gold standard. But if you can't live like that, there's other ways you can monitor your diet to make sure you're giving yourself the best opportunity to get in terrific shape. Do what I do. Work out your macros once, then create a meal plan or meal plans. Follow those meal plans. If you get bored, switch it for another. If you don't want to do that, use hand portions, and make sure you're prioritizing protein, leafy greens, salads, and low calorie, high volume foods towards the front of your meal. And even drink some low calorie liquids like soup, broths, or preferably water. And the stuff outside of your diet with your training, make sure you're training hard and you're neat, you're increasing that. Just small tweaks. And obviously track your weight, your measurements, your lifts in the gym. If there's any other ways you get in shape without tracking your macros, leave them in the comment section down below. Share with other people so they can learn and maybe try out new things. If you found this video useful, make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.